Welcome to Pest Control Marketing That Actually Works, the podcast for pest control operators who want real growth, not empty promises. I'm Adam Bennett.
And I'm Elisabeth Palante. We're from Cube Creative Design, and for 20 years, we've helped pest control companies stop wasting money and start growing.
Okay, today's episode, seasonal marketing, how to own your spring rush. Here's 3 key takeaways.
First, why starting your spring marketing in March means you already lost to your competition. Second, the 90-day preseason marketing timeline that dominates your market. And third, which services to push each month and how to adjust your marketing budget seasonally.
Okay, let's dive in. Spring is the busiest season for most pest control companies. Ants, termites, mosquitoes, everything wakes up. Chad, what's the biggest mistake operators can make in their spring marketing?
Waiting till March to start. Seriously, though, the March your competitors have already captured those early bookings. So if you're waiting till spring shows up on the calendar, you're already too late. You need a good 60, 90 days before spring. So if you're starting in March, you're already way too late.
So I think that some of our audience would feel that this is counterintuitive. Why would you market spring services in the middle of winter?
Because shocker, there are some customers who do plan ahead. They think about it when someone sees ants in April, they call immediately and want a service this week. But a smart customer is going to be the one who had ants last April. They're booking in February to get on the schedule before the rush.
So you're really targeting 2 different customers, right, Chad? The forward-thinking customer who books 2 to 3 months early, and then the reactive customer who books when they see pests.
Okay, so let's break down this timeline. When should pest control companies actually start their spring marketing?
January 1st. So if your spring marketing campaign launches around then, you've got a good 90 days before April when typically your real rush starts hitting.
So what does this first 90 days look like?
Well, first of all, January needs to be more about brand awareness and educating your customers. So you're reminding people that spring pest season is coming. You're educating them about prevention.
Okay, so then in February, you would start your early bird booking campaigns. Book your spring service now and save 15%, or get on the schedule before we're fully booked, something to that tune.
Okay, so then in March, that means it's really your last chance campaigns. Spring is here, book now for service this week.
So companies that are following this timeline will usually fill your April and May schedule by mid-March. Companies that are really waiting till March to really start trying to market, you're scrambling to fill slots in June when the rush is over.
Okay, so let's talk about competition for a second. How does all this play into the competition?
So your competitor who starts marketing in January is obviously capturing those customers that need attention 60 days before you even start. So when you finally start marketing in March, 10 potential customers have already seen your competitor's ads for 10 weeks.
They've been primed, right? So when they see ants in April, they remember the company they've been seeing ads from since January, not the company that just started advertising last week.
So starting early isn't just about booking slots early. It's about owning the mental real estate before your competitors do.
Exactly. So marketing is a long game. The company that shows up consistently for 90 days before the season is going to win more customers than the company that shows up the day the season starts.
Absolutely. So let's get really specific. What should pest control companies do each month in the 90 days before spring rush?
We're going to walk through January, February, and March specifically, but this framework applies to any season, summer mosquitoes, fall rodents, whatever.
So your month 1 is really about awareness and education. So think of January as, just like I said, it's your awareness month. It's your goal. You remind people that spring pest season exists and that you are the solution and have the solutions.
So practically, Chad, what does this look like?
Blog content's great. So top 5 pests to watch for this spring, or spring pest prevention checklist. Work on social media posts that are educational in content about what pests emerge in spring. Email marketing, send your list as a spring is coming. Here's what to expect type email.
Also, Google ads and Facebook ads. Start running low budget campaigns targeting general keywords like spring pest control and termite season. You're not going really hard yet. You're just building awareness.
So Chad, what about organic marketing?
Well, that's where your Google business profile can come in, or your GBP. So you want to post weekly about spring preparation, update your website, your homepage, make sure you have your spring service section above the fold. Start generating reviews. You want fresh reviews appearing in February and March when people are actually searching.
The key in January is that you're planting seeds. Most people aren't ready to book yet, but you're getting on their radar.
Okay, so let's dive into month two, early booking campaigns. So February is really when you're going to ramp up. What changes in this month?
Well, February is for your early birds. So your messaging needs to shift from spring is coming to book now before we're full.
So, specific tactics here would be an email campaign offering 10 to 15% off for customers who book February for March or April service. Google Ads budget increases 30 to 50% during this time. Facebook retargeting ads to everyone who visited your website in January.
And what about the website?
Obviously, you need to add urgency to your homepage. Book your spring service now. Slots are filling fast. You want to create a dedicated landing page for your spring services with a booking form. Add maybe a countdown timer if you're offering some kind of early bird discount.
Right. And if you're doing direct mail, a direct postcard campaign, they should hit mailboxes in mid February. It takes 2 to 3 weeks for people to act on direct mail. And also, if you're doing that, we would recommend doing some sort of QR code or something of the sort so that you can actually track how effective that campaign is.
And what results should companies see in February?
Well, if you've marketed properly in January, you should start seeing some bookings increase. Your goal is to have 40 to 60% of your April capacity booked by the end of February. That lets you focus on your March filling rates and slots handling any kind of immediate request.
Okay, so month three is your last chance and immediate service time zone. So March is when the reactive customers start calling because they're seeing actual pests. How does that marketing change?
So March is your peak marketing month. So you need to increase your budget probably 30 to 50% from February. And if you're running full speed on all channels.
Okay, so what do you say? What's the messaging here?
So this is your last chance messaging. So spring service slots limited, book today, immediate availability messaging. So something like same day and next day service available, problem focused messaging, seeing ants, we can help today.
On the Google Ads side of things here, you're bidding on high intent keywords at this point. Ant exterminator near me, emergency pest control, termite treatment. These are expensive clicks, but they convert high. They convert better.
But what about those customers who aren't ready to book yet?
Well, that's where a retargeting campaign comes in. So anyone who has visited your site in January or February, but maybe they didn't book, they're seeing your ads everywhere in March. Hey, we're still here, ready when you are.
In your phone system, make sure your phones are staffed well. March through May, you should have extended hours or after hours service. You're paying for ads that drive calls, so don't miss the calls.
That's right. So let's talk about service specific marketing by month. Not all services are seasonal at the same time, right? So let's break down which services to push when throughout the year. Elisabeth, can you walk us through this calendar?
Sure. And I will say also, this calendar does change depending on where you're located, because obviously people out in California are going to have different time frames than somebody who's in North Carolina. So I think we're talking a little bit more in our region, North Carolina region. So here's the month by month breakdown of what to market. January through February, your primary focus is termite inspections and prevention. Termite swarmers emerge in early spring, so you're marketing termite services starting in January. The secondary campaign is spring pest prevention packages, general messaging about preventing ants, roaches, spiders before they become problems. March through April, your primary campaign, ant control. This is when ants are most active and most visible. Heavy marketing on ant solutions. This is a big one. Secondary, termite treatments. Swarmers are active, so termite calls spike. Mosquito prevention. Get ahead of mosquito season because that's coming, and that's a good one. May through June, primary is mosquito control. This is your mosquito marketing push. Outdoor season is starting. People want to enjoy their backyards and their front yards. Secondary, wasp and bee removal. Nests are growing. Flea and tick prevention also for pet owners at this point. Okay, so July through August, your primary push is mosquitoes. Well, the mosquito push is continuing. Also, bed bug treatments. Travel season means more bed bug issues. Secondary, perimeter pest control. Keep messaging about ongoing protection.
Right. So a quick note here on your summer. This is when you're going to really want to push your recurring services hard. So don't let pests ruin your summer. Stay protected with our monthly service. As you move into like September and October, think about primary rodent prevention, mice, rats who are looking for winter shelter. Also, start thinking about rodent exclusion in September because when it starts getting colder, rodents want to come in. Secondary fall pest control packages, any kind of wintering pests like stink bugs, ladybugs, Asian beetles, box elder bugs, etc. Then, as we get into November and December, think about primary rodent control. So that's obviously going to continue, and it's going to be your peak season. So secondary might be any kind of indoor pest control, roaches, ants, spiders moving indoors. Holiday gift certificates make great gifts. Give the gift of a pest-free home.
Yeah, that's the kind of gift I don't want underneath the Christmas tree, right? Termites and spiders.
Yeah.
So your marketing calendar really mirrors that of the pest life cycle like we just went through. So you're anticipating what customers will need 30 to 60 days before they actually need it.
Exactly. So a reactive company is going to market to what customers are calling about today, where a more strategic company is going to market what customers are going to be calling about next month or even 2 months from now.
Okay, so let's get down to the brass tacks. Let's talk money. Should pest control companies spend the same amount on marketing every month?
No, not necessarily. Your budget should flex with the seasons. So spend more during your busy seasons when competition's high and customer intent is high, and spend less during the slow seasons. Just like when you slow down in the winter, pull back on your ad budgets.
Okay, so let's break down how to allocate your annual marketing budget by the quarter.
Okay, so Q1, March through January through March, 35% of your annual budget. This is your preseason market and early season. You're investing heavily to capture that spring rush.
So if your annual marketing budget is $60,000, you're spending $21,000 in the first quarter, about $7,000 per month.
Okay, second quarter, April through June, 30% of your annual budget. Spring rush continues April and through April and May. The mosquito season starts then as well. So you're still busy and still competitive.
Right. So that's about $18,000 across the quarter, 6,000 average per month.
So moving on to July through September, quarter three, 20% of your annual budget should be used for marketing. Summer slowdown for some regions, but mosquitoes and bed bugs keep you busy.
So that's $12,000 or $4,000 per month. This is your maintenance marketing period.
Okay. So Q4, October through December, or the fall season, you're going to want to spend around 15% of your annual budget. Obviously, it's rodent and wildlife season, but overall, your call volume is going to be a little bit lower, except for more rodents in your indoor pests.
So that comes out to about 3,000 per month or 9,000 total for that quarter.
So the key insight here is you're spending more than twice as much per month in Q1 compared to Q4. That's strategic because your revenue opportunity is higher then.
Yeah, so just like Elizabeth said, some of this differs based on where you are in the country. This feels very spring focused, but what if you're in the South where seasons are different?
Right. So obviously, you just have to adjust your model to your region, just like you adjust how you handle your pests during the seasons. So let's say you're in Florida, you might not have as much of a winter slowdown, but your budget might be a little bit flatter year round. If you're in more the northern states, you might not have as much of a spring brush, but you may have more rodent and exclusion work moving into late summer, early fall.
The framework does stay the same though. So increase marketing, spend 60 to 90 days before your busiest season. That's an easy equation. Maintain spend during the busy season and then reduce your spend during the slower season.
And most importantly, track those results. If you're spending $7,000 in March and you generate $35,000 in revenue, that's a 5-time return. If you spend $3,000 in November and generate $8,000, that's less than a 3-time return. So the quarter one investment is worth it. All right, Elizabeth, just like we do every week, let's recap these 3 key takeaways.
Okay, so number one, starting spring marketing in March means you're really behind at that point, like 60 to 90 days. Your competitors already captured early bookings and mental real estate by starting in January. Number two, the 90-day timeline is January for awareness and education, February for early bird booking campaigns with discounts, and March for last chance and immediate service messaging. Number three, budget allocation should be 35% in Q1, 30% in Q2, 20% in Q3, and 15% in Q4. Spending 2 to 3 times more during busy seasons generates higher ROI.
And we've created the year-round seasonal marketing calendar. It shows exactly which services to push each month with pre-written emails and ad templates. You can download it free today at marketingthatactuallyworks.ai.
And if you want to plan your entire seasonal marketing strategy with campaigns and budgets, book a free strategy call.
Next Tuesday, landing pages that convert, design, and copy that actually works. Emily joins us to walk us through the technical elements that turn website visitors into booked jobs.
So please subscribe and leave us a review. Let us know what you'd like to hear about next.
Thanks for listening to Pest Control Marketing That Actually Works. We'll see you again next Tuesday.